Hello everyone. Dave here. I'm back with Daniel. He let me know a couple weeks ago that his B2K is tremendously, if not almost all the way stopped. He's still being targeted, but he contacted me to do a follow-up interview. I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't gonna do it. Please keep us in your prayers. Last night I was in tears. I looked at Holly and said, "Look, they're killing me. They're radiating me very bad vibrations from my feet to my chest." I got a hat, a Faraday hat, ice cap right on glass. I just took an Epsom salt bath and said, you know what, I'm going to do the interview. But last few nights has been pure torture. I've unplugged everything in the room that I can, took devices out, um, turned all the power in the house off. I mean, they're really, really getting me, but I'm not going to stop. V2K's in my head. Uh, anyway. I'm gonna turn it over to Daniel, and I'll be asking him questions as we go. Daniel, I've been in contact with Daniel for a while, and through ups and downs. Um, I'm sure whatever's went on with him, there's some major progress because he's contacted me saying, "Look, man, I'm gonna die if anything happens." Blah, you know. So very and so this is he's the real deal. Daniel, I'm gonna turn it over to you now.
Yeah. So one thing I just want to start with, for anybody who's watching who isn't a targeted individual, you have to realize that just doing everyday stuff for us can be extremely taxing. Um, to be able to do what David's doing right now while he's being tortured and still try to get the word out. I mean, that takes a tremendous amount of courage and strength. And I know for, like I said before, many people who aren't targeted, this stuff is wholly unbelievable. Trust me, I was there with you before I started getting targeted. I didn't believe it either. I used to laugh at videos of targeted individuals. I used to think, oh, what kind of ego they have to think that the government's after them. They're not Donald Trump, stupid stuff like that you don't understand until you actually get targeted. That it ain't about that. So you don't have to be. In fact, if you are I have a personal opinion. If you are someone like Donald Trump, you're not going to get targeted because you have resources. You spend your billions of dollars literally focusing on trying to uncover this. If you had that, that's one of the things that my targeters used to say to me was the fact that I didn't have any money. So what are you going to do with no money? You have no money. What are you going to do? And their V2K would make it to where I would compulsively spend money when I didn't really want to. So I'd constantly be broke. Um, but as of recently, skipping ahead to that, they stopped V2K on me. It used to be 24/7. Um, it was just constant. And it was only a few phrases that they would say. They'd say eat or eat up. Or they would do it like in a command. I go eat up. And I would fucking like twitch. And they were doing that to me for fuck, it had to be a few months straight. And it was getting very, very bad. Like David said, I texted him and I was like, dude, I'm gonna die if anything happens to me. To, get the word out that they killed me, stuff like that. So there's no
Multiple
doubt.
times over the months, you texted me that.
Yeah, I was going through it real hard. Because when it's 24/7, man, you're just trying to get some sleep, and all you hear is chatter, and you just can't. You can't cover your ears because it's not going through your ears. It's going directly into your brain. So what are you gonna do? Cover your head? You try to cover your head with stuff like Faraday caps and stuff like that, but it really doesn't work like super well. I think that it takes the edge off whenever you wear stuff like that. Because I used to wear an EMF cap everywhere I went, and then I just finally got to a point where I was like, this ain't working for me. So I just stopped wearing it. Um, but yeah, so the other things that are still going on, I still have heavy tinnitus. I still have like you can constantly see how I'm moving all the time now. Like I'm constantly jittering or moving my legs or shaking back and forth. There's no doubt in my mind that that's because of them as well. Uh, So there's another thing that I know that they can do, which is they hit your subconscious by doing V2K that you can't actually hear. Only your subconscious can hear it. So um the V2K may not have even stopped. They might still be doing it. It's just I can't audibly hear it. Uh the
But
Go
can
ahead.
you tell me? But can tell them you're still being targeted, stalked, and all that. You just ignore it for the most part, or try your best.
Yeah, so for street theater stuff like that, I don't even notice anymore. Um like I was telling David before we started, after a while of this, you realize that you have no privacy anymore. So for me anyway, I realized I have no privacy. So like I kind of lost my shame of stuff. I'm like, well, they know everything. So who gives a shit at this point? Privacy doesn't exist for me. So I just treat it uh like if I was in prison, you have no privacy in prison. So it's kind of like that. I'm just like, well, the CEO knows everything already, so ain't nothing I can do about it. So I don't give a fuck. I'll go in a Safeway. Excuse my language. I'll go in a Safeway, and I don't even notice other people anymore. I used to worry about people laughing. I'm like they're probably laughing at me. And now I'm like, I don't even care. I get happy when I hear laughter now. I'm like, good. At least somebody's having fun. That's nice. So, um, as for like headlight flashing, stuff like that, I don't get that anymore. Um, Now this has happened in the past where they've taken a break for a while
Yeah.
and then they come back. So that's something I'm realize is probably going on. It'll probably start up any time.
Yeah, because you were struggling with your. You remember you contacted me. You were struggling with your job. You and your parents weren't getting along. Just total havoc in your life. And I can testify. I mean, I talked to him many times about this, and so he's not on here faking. This is real deal testimony right here.
Oh yeah, man. Freaking I didn't have there was no problems with my parents. It's just I kind of started like uh I was stuck in a bind because I'm like I want to tell them everything, but they're never going to believe it. And so I had to just be quiet about it. And so just being quiet about it, I had to actually play the game and be like, yeah, man, I got mental health problems.
Right.
That's just what it is. So I stopped trying to tell people because doing what you're doing is different. You're getting out there and you're telling like massive amounts of people. Um, but trying to tell your friends and family, they'll never understand. It's set up that way on purpose.
And you push them away when you tell them.
Yeah, that you have to realize that they're probably being hit with V2K that they don't know about themselves. So one day your parents might wake up and they're in a pissy mood and they don't even know why. And it's because they were hit with V2K, psychically drove all night long. And uh they get up and they're pissy. And so you're just like, I have to just stay away and be cool. As for my job, I still technically work at Service Masters. But right now they don't have hours for me. So I've been doing temp labor and just to try to get some money in. My I had just had to fix the brakes on my vehicle, the front brakes, because they were grinding. There's metal on metal. And so I
Oh,
fixed the front brakes. And then the back brakes, they said only have about 2 millimeters left. So I got to fix those too. And that's another $700. So I got to save this money up. And then I got to get a tune up on her because she's a 1999. She's old. So uh, it's time to get a tune up, make sure that she still functions because I need my vehicle in order to make money and in order to live life. And I don't have the ability to to have money saved up to where I could just start paying for another vehicle. So that's just some of the problems you deal with, when you're because one of the things I'm thinking, did they fuck my brakes up? You know, because they want you to think that everything bad that happens in life is because of them. It gives them a power over you to where you think that everything negative happens. You forget that before you were targeted, there was negative shit that happened to you. Bad stuff happened, so you had to deal with it. But when I get targeted, I had to convince myself, no, it wasn't them. The vehicle's old. The brakes just went out. It happens. They're not
Did you see
all.
the video on negative association conditioning I did yesterday?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
All right, yeah, that's what you're talking about right now, kind of. Can I read a
Yeah.
couple of these messages you've sent me over this past? This is from January, and I'm not going to be too personal. January 25th at 11:58 a.m. Man, I just woke up. I'm being controlled, bro. Subliminal messaging done through V2K. Let's go on to uh, May 22nd. Man, they've been attacking me hard for the last 4 days. I'm not sure what to do. They have those trigger words that mess with me very bad. Uh, Let me
Yep.
see. I'm gonna read one more. I'm just trying to let them. I'm doing. This is from. Let me see. March. This is from March 2nd. I'm doing the best I can dealing with these bastards. Been challenged. I'm still kicking. Um. The grid will be anyway. That's not one of them. That's about somebody who was wanting me to connect you with. Anyway, there I can't find. Do you know what? On January 26th, when all this is happening, I said, "Hey, why don't you put this machine on you and see how you deal with it?" You know what they said to me? They said it is on us. What happens if they're being controlled too? But anyway, I could go back further than that to when he was texting me in the middle of the night saying, "Man, please, if something happens to me." So, I mean, this should give people hope that there is a way to kind of, and Duncan says in the How to Tame a Demon that the only targets who have been able to successfully have a life is the ones who's been able to see through the psyops and figure out the psychological operations being done against them. Now I understand hacking your phone and destroying all lines of communication stuff through your phone and stuff is almost impossible to protect yourself from.
Yep.
But he was the worst. He's one of the worst as far as V2K and targeting. Um, uh, as far as V2K, I've ran across. I mean, there's plenty of them like him that's contact. I'm just saying he was up there with the worst. So this is a big improvement. And like you said, they might be taking a break, but he can use this break as a chance to get ready for if they do come and find out. You can find out. Well, write out a list of look at the past mistakes you made when you were doing V2K before. Write out a list of what to do if it hits again. Um,
Yeah. Just laying down, because that's what I would do. Is they would start hitting me with VTK, and I would just lay down all day like a dog. Just fucking. They're just hitting me, bam, 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 and so I just wouldn't do anything. Now I'm going to focus on just keeping on. So they're going to be like da 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 da. They're going to do their chatter again because it's not humans that are doing it. They press a button on a machine and then the AI takes over. There's no way, like I said before in my previous video with you, you can't do this for 24/7, like all the time. You have to sleep too if you're human. But if you're not human and you're using an AI, then that doesn't have to sleep. It just goes. And so I know for a fact because they went 24/7 for months, no sleep. I would wake up in the middle of the night, I could still hear them. I'd go back to sleep, I would dream about it, which means that they were hitting me in my sleep. It never stopped. So those are AI. And that's the laziness of these bastards because they get to continue to live their life. They just press a button and go about their business. And you're getting hit. But with you, everything is about trying to figure out a way to get around their psyops, their psychological warfare, because it is warfare. They are attacking you. Like that there's not a single targeted individual I don't know who doesn't use the word attacked. I'm being attacked. And you said it earlier. So that's the truth of it. When this happens, we're being attacked. They're attacking us psychologically and physically with the directed energy weapons. Um, I've got constant infections now. Uh, I was telling David about before we started recording. Um, I have an ear infection in my left ear now. I just got over one in my right ear. Um, and infections like fungal infections, stuff like that. All that stuff can be controlled with their directed energy weapons. They can make shit grow on you. They can cause your immune system to falter. And so if that happens and you end up doing what I'm doing, which is having to take antibiotics all the time, I've got antibiotic eardrops that I'm forced to take, and then I'm gonna have to probably go up to the hospital and get some amoxicillin again because the eardrops they don't fully work.
Mm.
So they kind of help, but they don't fully work. But that's just it's little things. So see that when you're a targeted individual, it isn't always about the huge attacks because you do get them. I was attacked when I had a tooth infection. They hit me with directed energy weapons right on the nerve, right here, and I was in so much pain I just crumpled to the ground. And I was like, "Oh my god, I think this is it. I think that they're gonna just torture me to death." But those were few and far between. Like I had an ear infection. They did the same thing. They hit me with directed energy weapons in my ear. And it was like there was a vice in my ear, just poking and fucking like just destroying my ear. And I was in such pain. I had to go to the hospital. I've been to the hospital, fuck man, 10, 20 times in the past few months.
Mm.
Just constantly having to go to the hospital because something else has happened. Whether it be, see, I actually broke down and I did one of the rules that you're not supposed to do is you're not supposed to go to a mental health place. But I actually broke down and did it, and it was actually helpful for me because it was a calm place where there was people around me that were trying to help, and so I felt like, oh my god, these people are trying to help me. It wasn't like I thought it was going to be. Like I was going to get in there and the torture would just begin. um, like it was MK Ultra, and I walk into a doctor's office, and the doctor's office is actually a CIA testing facility where they're going to test on you. It wasn't like that. It actually helped me out a lot. Um, but I did gain a lot of weight because I was eating like every meal they had. They have very good meals, so I was eating a
Right.
lot.
But you're not advising nobody to go there, right?
No, I did that because I wanted to see for myself.
Is that
And
Christmas Eve? Because I'm looking at a message right here I was going to read from Christmas Eve. I'm taking a leave of absence. They're hitting my adrenaline gland, causing extreme angers. V2K constant. They're trying to pretend they're giving me commands. Anytime I listen to music, think about anything, talk to them, and pray, they hit me, causing anger. It's a messed up game they're playing. They're definitely cowards and sociopaths, but they have enough intelligence to know not to be physically around me anymore. You know,
yeah,
that was in December of last year, Christmas
yeah.
Eve.
So yeah, they were hitting me pretty hard. I had a Christmas party just a few days before that, and the entire time the party was going on, I was in this room, away from everybody, because that's their main want is they want to isolate you. They want to get you away from everybody, make it to where you can't talk, you can't deal with people. Because if they
And
can do
mind
that,
control is more effective when you're isolated.
they can yeah. Because then all it is just you and them, and that's all you focus on is them. And so that's another mistake I made. Uh, my mistake was one believing that they could actually control my mind to a point to where I was going to be some sort of mindless automaton. I don't think that's possible. I think because if it could happen, it would already have happened. They've been hitting me for 7 years now, and if I was going to get mind controlled, man, it sure takes a long time because I sure haven't done anything. They threatened me and said that one day I would wake up and say, "What did I do?" And the first thing I said was, I would never say that. I would say, "What did you do?" Because it wouldn't be me. And but stupid scam calls. I've been getting scam calls like over and over again all day, every day now. I'm sure that's another one of their funny jokes.
Oh yeah, me too.
And it no longer says scam likely on my phone whenever it used to do that. It'd be like scam likely. That way I could just hit decline. Now if I don't know the number, I just decline it. They can leave
Now I
voicemail.
got an email at like at midnight the other night that said, "Are you at home?" And it's from some email I don't even know how they got my email address. Don't care, but I screenshotted it, put it in evidence, and I got people I send it to, sort of like a dead man switch kind of thing. Oh,
Yeah, every targeted individual prays and hopes for the day when the grid gets found out by the average society, like public. We all want that. Like to see a day, like I actually had a fantasy that Doge crew would find these guys and be like, "What is this?" And they start explaining and be like, "Is that so?" And then fucking like do what they do with these other people, where they're firing everybody and kicking them out and stuff like that. That would be great, right? The problem is that this technology is so well hidden and so unbelievable that even if it does come out, people are not going to believe it. People are going to be like, that can't be true. That's some fake news.
Well, if it's
That's,
on ABC, they'll believe it.
yeah, maybe. Maybe.
I mean, that's for real. That's the first thing. Oh, I ain't the news talking about it.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
I think a lot of people are waking up to that stuff, though. The fake
They have,
news.
it's so propagandized that even watching it for a few minutes, I just get pissed. I'm just like, what? Dude, you're lying to me. Everything you're saying is a lie, or it's to like promote fear. And so, listen, I don't watch the news, man. I found out Ozzy Osbourne died because somebody told me. Which rest in peace to the Prince of Darkness. But freaking somebody told me. I didn't know. Uh, and I prefer it that way. I prefer not knowing the news because the news.
Now, I hate to interrupt you. I'm sorry. So you said they would not let you read the Bible. Uh,
Yeah.
are you able to do that now?
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Oh yeah.
cool. Because I
Yeah.
remember I
Because
was telling you, we were talking about, you're like, man, they won't let me read the Bible. They torture me every time.
yeah, what they would do is they would cause extreme anxiety when I read it, and then they would hit me with V2K to where it would be impossible for me to concentrate. So they would hit me like that every time I'd open the book. Because at first I'd open a book and they'd start hitting me with V2K, and I'd start reading to them. I'd say, okay, so we're gonna do this. Here, it's time for you to learn something, and I'd start reading to them. Like that's good, right? Every time they'd say something, I'm like, yeah, that's right, it's good. You should listen, and then I would continue to read. Well, they got pissed off about that because I kept on reading. So that's when they started hitting me with the anxiety. And anxiety for me is my roughest thing to deal with throughout all this. They figured that out. Whenever they hit me with that anxiety, I have to stop myself and just I do like this. I'm like, calm yourself, and I just try to focus. And I take this hydroxyzine that they give me for anxiety, and it barely works. I've been trying to get Valium because that works.
Yeah,
Um,
see, even in How to Tame a Demon, Duncan said talks about benzos working. Now, I had to take a Ativan last night. I was getting hit so bad. I don't like taking it.
yeah,
Oh, I don't like it, but I had to last night.
no, I it would help me with a lot of things because if right now I'm sober and stuff, but one of the things when they start hitting me super hard, I start going back to the drink, and freaking that's something that is very negative for me. I destroying my body, you know, because I just get vodka and just drink it like a whole fifth in a night and just pass out. And that to me is a scary thing because I have a problem. I have uh, I have problems with alcohol, so I'm just like I don't want to go into that vicious circle, that vicious cycle again of
I'm
just
looking.
drinking.
I got the Lost Book of Herbal Remedies, and I'm looking up earache right now. I mean, this is one like a good book. It's not no fake uh false information book.
Yeah. Have you ever heard of Arrowid.com?
And what I was going to say is, you got to be careful. Hydroxine is okay, but benzos, be careful because if you can like withdrawals. If you get
Oh
so
yeah,
bad you have withdrawals, you can pass. That's why I try to steer clear and not take them unless I need them.
yeah. You can die from the withdrawals. The alcohol and benzos are the ones that can.
Hmm.
Heroin can too if you're super super like if you're doing like 4 grams a day injecting and you go cold turkey,
I
you can.
can't say. I'll have to edit that.
Oh,
You can't say the shot word.
I fucking hate YouTube, man. Can you say that? Or is freedom of speech totally gone? Um, Yeah, well, if you're doing random drugs like heroin in large quantities, then you can go into a death rattle on that one. But it's very rare. But for benzos and alcohol, if you can go cold turkey and then just have epilepsy seizures and die. I was asking you, have you ever heard of arrowid.org?
I've heard. Oh yeah, I've been there a couple times over the years. But is it a good site? I think I didn't have time and I got busy. And you know how you get a site and then you get busy and forget about it.
Yeah, so I used to be a drug addict, and anytime I would try a new drug, I would go to arrowid.org and I'd get all the information they have on it. And they don't just have drug information; they have all the drugs, though. By the way, all the information, even the stuff they use during MK Ultra, like Agent Buzz and stuff like that, they have that. Um, but they also have spirituality and mindset, and it's a different section of it to where they do stuff like what you're looking at, herbal remedies, how they work, how effective they are, stuff like that. It's just it's the biggest database uh, on drugs and spirituality and like shamanistic practices. It's the biggest website there is on it. They have they have all these vaults, and in each vault has just endless information. People talking about it. Uh, then they also list their resources. So it's not you can look and be like, oh, this resource was gotten from this book or this book. They're super good. I highly recommend them. Um, but yeah, other than that, right now in life, uh, I'm just going to do temp work, which is labor work, but it's honest dollar. So I'm making money. Uh, again, because for a while there, I couldn't do anything. So I was on medical leave and I was getting paid for state medical leave. And then that ran out. And then I could have done long term medical leave, but my doctor, for some reason, she was supposed to send me a doctor's note saying I couldn't work. And that note, surprise, surprise, never came. So it's almost like somebody just plucked it right out of the mail. Uh, but I've started working again, and now I'm making money, and that's a first step. Um, my biggest step, like I said, is I'm going to try to get myself some benzos because I need them for whenever I get whenever they hit me with that anxiety. I would love to just be able to go pop, take a pill, like fuck you, and go about my business. But excuse my language. Um, and not worry about that anxiety crap they put on me. Because it's the biggest attack they have for me right now is anxiety.
Yeah, they want to get you out. Yeah, because when you're anxious, you make wrong decisions.
Yeah, that's very true. Like I said, they hit me with anxiety, and then one of my first thoughts is, let me go get a bottle of alcohol because that'll take it away. And it does, but then my body pays for it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I was throwing up blood at one point. Uh, I must have damaged the lining in my stomach,
Uh,
but now I'm pretty
you
much the
are
water.
uh, so are you so you're pretty much just your stuff stopped. You're taking advantage of it while you can. Not everything stopped, but your V2K pretty much stopped. But it may be an inner dialogue too that you don't know about.
Yeah.
But do you have any idea of why they would stop for now besides a break if they did have stopped?
No, it's not. These guys are complete sociopaths, so I don't see them wanting to change me for the better. Uh, that would imply some form of benevolence, and that's not what these people are. They're malevolent. They are evil. They get off on doing this stuff. So right now, I'm thinking it's just a break, and when they come back, they'll come back hard. Uh, I'm just gonna have to prepare myself and be ready. But I wanted to get the word out there that for some of us, it does stop at least for a little bit. And if you just keep on keeping on and make the right decisions. Don't make decisions that you wouldn't make naturally. It, I ask myself constantly, I'm like, is that something I would do? Or is this something I'm being tricked into doing? And so uh, I'm like, yeah, I would do that. Or no, I wouldn't think that. That's a horrible thought. That's not me. That's something else. So that's how I keep my mind right. Uh, between anxiety, the V2K, the stalking. Now that the V2K and the stalking have ceased, at least for the moment, like you said before, I can prepare, and that's 90% of what I'm doing. Everything is preparing. I'm going to try to save some money up so I have extra money just in case I can't work or something like that. Um, and focus on how I'm going to not play the game because that might be one thing, like we were discussing earlier. I stopped playing the game when it come down to like them with their street theater and stuff like that. I stopped playing. I was like, I don't care. You can
Yeah, because
laugh.
you have no choice. I mean, you have no choice but to work or go under, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much it. That's it. If it wasn't for my parents, man, I would be completely screwed. Because
And I think you made the right. I think you made the right choice playing the mental health card instead of saying, "Hey, look, I'm targeted." With them. That was the right choice. I mean, it's not advised to go play a mental health card and get a diagnosis, but in his case, his parent, and he might have pushed his parents away, telling them that. Uh,
yeah,
well, in that decision in your situation, I think that was the right choice, wouldn't you say?
yeah,
Oh
I
yeah, I wanted
do.
to ask, how long was you clean? How long have you been clean? You said
I've
I'm
been
not
off
talking
drugs.
about alcohol,
I've been off drugs for a while. Probably a couple months. Um,
but I'm
I
talking about
had
you wasn't on drugs the whole time you've been targeted, right?
no. Uh,
Okay.
what would happen is I would get hit, and then I would want an out. And the only
Okay. See, a lot of targets turn to that. Yeah.
me being an addict, that's the first thing I thought. Well, this will make me feel better, And so going out and getting fentanyl or something like that. But I realized once again that that's part of the slow kill method that they're doing. They want me to do stuff like this, the vaping and
Right.
um
Vaping's bad, and it's got poison in it.
yeah,
But what people don't understand, everything does now. And if you don't keep your body detoxed properly, uh, you can get just as much stuff in your body from eating certain foods and just breathing in the air. Then they've got it all. It's all set, the grid set is all. I got to watch what I say here, but you know it's everywhere. It's not just in vapes.
yeah.
And I'm
But
working on something and doing research. It's not just in the stuff I can't talk about either. So
uh-huh.
you better learn how to get it out of your body.
Yeah, eating food gives you microplastics. There's microplastics in everything, which is poisonous. They have those BPEs or whatever they're called, forget what they're called, but those chemicals that are really bad that are in plastics as well. And almost everything that we drink out of or eat out of is plastic. This is plastic right there.
Well,
Um,
you
they
notice,
don't.
look, you notice that's why the metal water bottle.
Yeah, that's smart. I got to get one of those. Because
Yeah,
mine.
and we're lucky we have copper pipes, which creates a vibration in the water. Now you still want to filter your water through a water filter,
Yeah, we
but
have that too.
there's people saying, yeah, this will is not healthy at all. However, nothing is. That's the reality. So if you just because you don't do this, just because you don't haven't done other stuff, and you think you're safe, you better be drinking water and keeping stuff out of your body and doing detox constantly.
Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff out there, and some of
Did
it's
you ever
not.
try the garlic?
Oh yeah, I eat garlic all the time, man. I
Okay.
love garlic. I love garlic, period. So I eat it. I eat it no matter what.
Yeah.
Um, I get the mint stuff and I put that in all my food. I'll get regular cloves and I'll slice those up real thin and crush them and release all that whatever they call it, thebaine
Yeah,
or whatever.
Allison.
Allison, yeah, whatever it is. Release all that and I eat it. I've always loved garlic, so that's one thing. The funny thing is, there was a medieval book of medicine that they found where they were talking about an infection of the eye, and one of the ways to get rid of it out forever now. But
Oh, I didn't know that. See, I said garlic, garlic helped do that, and I got a strike for it. So
yeah, I was just gonna say how aspirin is made, but if we can't talk about it, then we can't talk about it.
yeah, they're on this show hard, man. I don't understand how some of them bit. Well, I know how some of them do it. Some shows they let talk about anything. You notice
Oh yeah,
that?
yeah, because they're talking because they're one, they're making money for them, and two, they're talking about what they want them to talk about. So they're probably shilling for them. That's another thing. Whenever they
Yeah.
start, they're selling stuff for them. So I mean, I'm sure if you had monetization on your videos, and which I don't know if you could ever get, but if you got monetized on your videos, then you would have YouTube ads on there. They're like,
Yeah,
yeah,
I've been demonetized about a year and a half now.
really? Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
and
garbage.
even when I was monetized, all I did was make $50 a month, enough to pay for Zoom and my video editing software. So, I mean, unless you're getting 200, 300,000 views, you're really not making nothing
Do
much.
you have a Patreon?
Uh-uh.
You should get a
I thought
Patreon.
about starting one, but I really don't do. I'm trying to be self-supporting, um, as much as I can. But yeah, I went to somebody's Patreon yesterday and saw how it was set up. But I don't want people to get the wrong idea. Well, he's doing it for this, but it would help.
Well, yeah, because if you have help of the community, then you could get bigger. Um, just imagine if you had an extra like $2,000 coming in, from people who know you and they want to support. Because I know I would support. I would throw money at you, fucking just to make sure you're able to keep going.
Right.
Um,
Well, I'm gonna keep going no matter what. And see, the bad thing about it, if the reason, some people put their PayPal and stuff. I try to be as fully self-supporting. That way, this channel is transparent as possible. Because you get them perps that want to attack and say, "Oh, he's doing it for money. He's doing it for this. He's doing it for that." And people don't even realize. All right, it says I got 6,300 subscribers. Me and Brian too was talking the other day. I may have maybe 800 road targets. Maybe that, maybe, and then we talk about it may be 300 or 400. I had 3,500 subscribed in one day. It never watched the video. So what they did was, and they done it to Vulcan Wolverine's channel too. What it's looking like. Is they sent all these people to subscribe to make me look like some popular, because most TIs are like, how's he getting all them views?
yeah,
See, but what they don't realize is half the subscribers don't even watch my videos. It was all a
that
psyop to make me look popular to keep people away.
that's the problem with being a targeted individual. Is there's so much distrust. And forget, remember, I just sent you a message saying I'm not like that. I
Right.
trust. They're not going to take that away from me because if everybody's a perp, then I'm going to be so paranoid that no one. I'm not going. I'm going to isolate myself. So I don't
Now,
care.
see, we have so many emails and stuff coming in, and then it's like you want to get somebody to help with that. But then what if the question is, what if behind the scenes they're backstabbing you, or behind the scenes they're sabotaging? That's the danger you take in. Uh, that's
Well, that's the thing. This is something that I don't think people realize. That's a danger whether you're targeted or not. It's more of a danger for us because we've got people who are actually after us. But with every relationship you have in this life, it is all based on trust. Every relationship, our relationship, you and Holly, fucking anybody that you're in a relationship with is based on some form of trust. You have to have trust in order to commingle and to be able to work together.
I mean, I have to work on that. I'm the
Yeah,
worst.
if they, I understand, man. You've been targeted for so long. Fucking, that's what they want, though. They want you not to trust anybody because then how are you going to get help?
Right.
That you just give up, and so that's what they want. They want every single one of us to give up, shrivel, and die. That's what they want from
Do
us.
you think unity is possible in the community?
Oh yeah,
You
I
think it
think
is?
that what we need is a leader.
All
a
right.
real leader, someone who's passionate, charismatic, and very trustworthy. And
Right.
all the receipts are out there. If we had a leader, and that would bring about one of two things. The leader would probably start a civil war first, because there's so much distrust in the community, no matter how charismatic and awesome he is or she is.
When you say
It,
Civil War, you're not talking about violence, right?
no, no, I'm talking about like a psychological. Like, you know how some people are for Onion Head Andrew, or some people are for Look Out for Charlie, or some people are for you, and then they take that and they're like, that's the only one for me. The rest of them I don't believe. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right. They need to be open. Yeah.
I watch all of those people.
Yeah, and I just
Um,
talked to Onion Head Andrew. Me and him are real good. We're friends. Matter of fact, I got this. I'm fixing to go back to using this again. I just stun gun EMP. I don't know if you've seen that before.
yeah,
Yeah.
I saw him. He had a video about how to make it. I'm
Yeah.
not I'm not very good at that kind of stuff, so I can't make that. I'm worried I'll burn the house down. So
Right. Well, that's
yeah,
very safe, but
you
so you think there see I don't see I've never claimed to unify targets or try to unify targets because I know negative associated conditioning, if you watched my video yesterday, and influence mapping is what keeps us all apart.
oh yeah, they want us to
That's the
distrust each
only
other.
reason I don't think unity can happen. I've seen unity tried several times.
There's
Everybody gets
so
paranoid of everybody.
there's so many of us that if we were all to just suddenly trust each other, there would be a problem, because we would all get together. We'd start having marches. We'd start like going out there, and people would laugh. People would do that kind of stuff first. That's what they did to Martin Luther King. They laughed at them too. You get out there, we'd have a giant march, or we'd have protests. We'd get together and do those type of things.
I, I,
If
I really don't think that works.
if somebody needs if somebody needed help, like legally, the community could get together and send money. There you go. Or somebody in the community might be a lawyer, and
See,
then yeah, there you go.
See, we try to do that helping stuff behind the scenes. We do try to do that. But as far as marching, look at the ice raids. I mean, the marching done nothing. They're still going on. So that I just don't think the march. Now what a march would do maybe would raise awareness,
That's
bring
what
more
it's
attention
supposed
to
to.
it.
That's what it's for. It's not going to change the government's mind. The
Right.
government's going to keep on. The government's going to keep on doing what they do until they can't do it anymore. That's what happened with MK Ultra. They kept doing it until somebody found out about it. Somebody found out about it. They started burning and shredding documents real quick, because they knew they had been committing serious war crimes, serious crimes against humanity. The Nuremberg codes, and of course Geneva Convention, all that different stuff. But for us, it's more about the Nuremberg codes, about how you're not supposed to be like Dr. Mengele, and you're not supposed to be testing on people without their permission, and all that stuff. All that stuff falls under the Nuremberg codes. It's all Nazi-esque stuff that these people are doing, that because they know they can get away with it. They can get away with
Right.
it. That's why they laugh at me when I'm like, yeah, you guys are going to get caught one day. You're going to prison. They're just like,
I
ha.
mean, if we
Yeah.
don't figure out how to do something about our neural rights, and that's what that if we don't figure that out, um, they're gonna have all of us sitting in a smart city being happy
Oh
with
yeah.
nothing.
It's not. We're the first, but
Yep.
when they roll this out, they're going to roll it out large, and they're going to hit people everywhere.
Oh yeah, and the stuff's already in the atmosphere. Can I play something real quick?
Yeah, go right ahead.
Listen to this, man. I found this yesterday. Uh, okay, that was somebody trying to what do you call that stuff? Where they send something that you bought something that you didn't buy, and then you click it and try to log in. All right, listen, this is just listen to this. This is what's going on. It says 2035, but this is written in 2015. Well, actually, it's just a little clip because there's people saying, "Oh no, he vapes. He's transhuman."
Hmm,
Not,
what?
not. You better learn how to keep your body clean because it's in everything. So
Yeah,
listen to this.
Smart Dust, Real-Time Tracking of Everything, Everywhere, by Dan Rowinski.
And it's not. It don't take. It's about 1 minute.
The driver of technocracy in the 21st century. Its creation of computerized microscopic sensors no larger than a speck of dust will surpass the Internet of Things, IoT, by orders of magnitude. Known as smart dust, an area can be blanketed to achieve 100% real-time monitoring of everything in every nook and cranny. Also, smart dust can be incorporated in fabric, building materials, paint, or any other substance used in construction, decoration, or wearables. The year is 2035, and Sergeant Bill Traverse and his team of commandos are performing a sweep and clean operation through a portion of the war-torn Mexico City. Their job is to find any hidden pockets of resistance and flush them out and back through the neutral zone or eliminate them. The drones that provide surveillance overhead cannot offer much support in the twisting alleys and passageways of the sprawling metropolis, and the helmet-based HUD systems that soldiers are equipped with are useless in a city where all technical infrastructure was destroyed years ago. Sergeant Traverse isn't navigating blind, though. He and his team use dust, portable packets of sensors that float in the air throughout the entire city and track movement, biometric indicators, temperature change, and chemical composition of everything in their city. The dust
man, that's
sensors
cool.
send information back to their HUD displays through a communications receiver carried by a member of the team. Traverse can tell, from the readings that dust gives him, if there are people around the next corner and if they are holding weapons. His team can then proceed accordingly. https://www.youtube.com/watch_mark v=.
Man, that's scary stuff right there. But the problem is that that stuff already exists.
That's what I'm
That's just
saying. That's what I'm saying. And yeah, I'm being attacked for vaping. They better be worried about how to get the stuff out there. It's in rural areas. It's everywhere.
if
Um,
somebody's attacking you, calling you transhuman for vaping, that makes no sense. Am I transhuman for smoking cigarettes too? I mean, what are you talking about? Like, it's nicotine, dude. It's the most addictive substance on earth besides crack. Excuse my language. I know we can't talk about it. Damn it.
no,
Keep
I'm just
messing
going to
with.
put a disclaimer up, and my viewers know what that means and stuff. So,
Yeah. So basically,
but that don't mean talk about any because
yeah, I get that. Yeah, I'm still trying to watch it. I'm used to. I'm very free speech. So uh, even when I'm talking to my family and stuff, I'm very. I just talk about whatever comes to mind. So I keep forgetting that you can be you can be stopped for this. So um, I currently don't make videos anymore. Um,
well, you should. I
I've
encourage everybody to start spreading words.
I've thought about it seriously, but I've got I've got to have a job,
Oh yeah,
and
yeah. You
so
need to focus on yeah.
I've got to make sure I've got money coming in at all times. And so I end up working like 6, 7 days a week. Today I took off because I wanted to do this. But
Wow, I'm glad I ended up doing it because I swear when I texted you and said, "Can we cancel till tomorrow?" I was being hit so hard, man. I took an
yeah,
Epsom salt bath. I took 3 cloves of garlic. I drank tons of water. Took magnesium, potassium. Man, I was doing everything, man, and it stopped right now. Everything's unplugged though. Uh, you know, the, so
does
I
that
don't know
work?
why they stopped, but man, it's been going on for about a week and a half now, hard.
Does that work whenever you turn off all your electronics?
Um, it lightens up like I don't know what happened. I took the Epsom salt bath. I prayed. I listened to praise and worship music, and the whole time I was in the bathtub. I took garlic. Drank tons of water because dehydration. Man, I was doing all kinds of stuff this morning. Just trying. and I'm glad that I didn't even know you took off work just for this because I was really fixing to cancel it. So I'm glad that I took the strength and fought through, and gave you your opportunity to come on.
Yeah, me too, man. I like I said before, I know all that stuff happened between you and somebody else in the community, and you were thinking about maybe not doing this anymore. And I'm like,
Yeah,
dude, I hope not. Because me finding you was one of the best things that ever happened. Because now I get information constantly from different TIs of what they're going through, and I realize, holy shit, I'm not alone, dude. I'm not the only one. Because sometimes it feels like you are. Sometimes you look around, you see all these normal people walking around, and you're like, man, you get kind of almost resentful, where you're just like, man, how's that fair? That they got people walking around who are probably, serious criminals, and they're not getting this, and you're just like, what's going on? So, but I've learned not to resent people. I look at it in a different way now. I'm like, well, there's still people out there living their lives, which means that we're still somewhat free. There's still some freedom in this country, which means they haven't rolled out the grid fully on everybody, which is a great thing. That's what I want to see. I want to make sure that nobody else is targeted, and not just me. I mean, I
well,
say
I
this.
think everybody is in the sense that everybody has the stuff in them to be activated at any time.
Yeah,
However, to the point we are harassed with B2K, hit with weapons, stalked, everything we do sabotage. Yeah, I know what you're talking about there.
yeah. Um, it gets very distracting in your life, and you get downtrodden a little, where you're just like, but when you fight through it, I try to feel a sense of accomplishment every time I win something. Because he says that, well, who is the guy who says don't play the game? What's his name
Oh,
again?
Brian too.
No, there's another guy. The guy who helped create all this stuff.
Oh, Duncan.
Yeah, Robert
Yeah,
Duncan. He said, don't play the game, but it is a game. That's what it is. It's a mental game. And so, did you know it says he said in Project Soulcatcher that sociopaths aren't affected by this, and I have to wonder how that is, because you think they would get madder than anybody, you know, freaking somebody's fucking with them or screwing with them, excuse me. Um, a sociopath would want to do something back, you think,
yeah. That's a
but
good question.
according,
I'm gonna research that.
yeah, according to Duncan, they don't get affected by it,
Right.
and so they don't really target them.
Wow.
So,
Yeah, I
hence the
probably,
reason.
man, might have to research that. That's a good question.
Yeah. So that's the reason most targeted individuals I've known, either watching your show or uh hearing about them, watching other videos, stuff like that. They seem like good people. Everybody's got secrets. Everybody's got things that they're disappointed in themselves for doing. Everybody's got that, but they don't seem like recidivist criminals, or uh predators, or stuff like that.
And that's what I told myself too when remember when I texted you about possibly giving up. I was in my feelings and I was like, man, but then I got to thinking, man, it makes my day to help just one person, maybe keep themselves from offing themselves or give them the encouragement just to keep it going one day or just oh, I didn't know this tactic. Man, I'm learning how to see through that and manage my life just or you help me understand what's going on or I wouldn't be here right just so I just knowing that because it's kind of like when I was a kid my dad made a big life change. I was very abused as a kid from my stepmother and father, but my dad made the changes he needed to make, and um, he drugged when he made the changes. He was alcohol. He drugged me to AA meetings, and I saw him let people come and get sober on his couch. He'd say, "There's the checkbook. If you want to steal from me, steal from me, but that's your choice." And I mean, he really changed his life helping others. So it was like when he was getting out of this. So me helping others it helps me too. It helps
Yeah.
me deal with targeting.
Now imagine if the whole community were to get together. That's
Right.
everybody helping one another.
Right. But
We,
how do you
we
do that?
we would become stronger than they could possibly handle.
Right.
And
If you have any ideas on how to do that, I'm
you
all
just
for it. I just think it's impossible because of the agents, infiltrators they send in. I listen. Somebody sent me this, and it makes sense when I read it. Listen, this is why I think this is one of the reasons, and it's quick because I'm fixing to have to go, but it says auditors and hypnotists go undercover into all sorts of victims' online spaces and join the conversation using intel from real life victims and connect with them, find out what their vulnerabilities are, and then do a 180 on them, attacking them on social media to break it up. They are trained trauma counselors who use their expertise in victims advocacy against victims. After the victim bonds with them in private chats, it is beyond sinister, but it is what they're doing to weaken communities that threaten their agenda. So they're sent, so you have that all the time, constant infiltrators, community-based agents that seem like real targets, and so that's why I just try to. That's why my channel is just really has been about helping people understand what's going on. Sure, if you call me, we'll help. We've helped homeless targets, and help targets get bus tickets and just little odd and end stuff like that. Because I really think if you really try to unify, it lead to total destruction of a lot of people.
I think
So
that
I don't. Maybe that's a fear of mine.
I think that that's what they want us to think. I think that that is 100%. It's just like in prison. In prison, they have cliques. They have like different gangs that hang together. But
Right.
if every single prisoner gets together, you know what happens? They have a riot, and they end up taking over the whole prison. And so that's what they talk about. You can't have the inmates running the asylum, kind of thing. Well, everybody out there, whether they're targeted or not, has to deal with narcissists and has to deal with predators, whether they're uh, predators in the traditional to catch predator sense or predators as in they're going after you for something, your money or uh, whatever. They're trying to hurt you because it makes them feel good. Targeted individuals have to deal with that maybe let's say 100% more than the average individual, but the average individual has to deal with it as well.
Right.
And so they don't stop just trusting everybody because they got screwed over by some narcissist or predator. They realize, oh, I got burned by that one. I can't talk to that one anymore. Now I'm going to go about my business. I've got my brothers I've got three adopted brothers. And I've known my brother Keith for 28 years. And there is not one thing on this earth that can make me distrust him. I trust that guy. I trust all my brothers, but I trust them implicitly. There's nothing that can stop that.
Did
Um,
they try when you were targeted?
oh yeah, they try to get me to distrust my family or try to get me to distrust everybody. Uh-uh. My family
But
has
it worked
never.
on a lot of people, didn't it? With you.
Oh yeah, others because see the thing that messed up with my family is my family never abused me. My family has never done anything but show me love, and they've always been there for me whenever I've been down. Always. It has never changed, and it's been unconditional love since the very beginning. And they're gonna try to get me to distrust that. Good luck.
Right.
Good luck, because it's not
Well, you're
happening.
very fortunate in that area. That's awesome.
That's the one. I mean, I lived a hard life too growing up, but it wasn't because of my family. My family was always there. So there's not one person in my family I don't trust implicitly. So do I trust that they'll believe me when I talk about this stuff? No, I can't trust that because they're not. It's just too unbelievable of a story. It doesn't seem real.
Right.
It seems like some Star Trek. Well, actually, Star
That was
Wars.
one of the smartest moves you made in your targeting.
Yeah. Well, I
But
tried
on
so
the
many.
Unity thing, run some ideas by me, man. And but as far as even if you do unify, what do you do? I think I'm working on something. I'm not going to say what I'm working on, but uh, it's it, it's something I think is really going to help the community. Um, and uh,
That's cool.
I'll run it by. I'll tell you about it through text. I just don't want to.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Well,
anyway,
the one way
yeah,
it would help is if we did unite. One way it would help is there's strength in numbers. There's always somebody smarter. There's always
right,
somebody who does. They do have a plan. Somebody. There are people targeted of all different walks of life. That Myron May guy was a lawyer,
right,
and they targeted him like he was just one of us. He had money, resources, funds, and they still got him. But he was a lawyer. Can you imagine what you could do with him as a lawyer to be on your side? Like, dude, what do we do? And he'd have like 10, 15 different ideas of what to do. Then there's other people out there who are project managers, leads. There's smart people out there. If they were just able to come together and actually be like, look, I'm going to trust you as far as I can trust you. But as soon as you screw me over, and I'm not going to listen to anybody else, I'm going to have to see you screw me over. I'm not going to listen to somebody else say, hey, they're talking shit behind my back. I'm not, no, not listen to that.
right,
I want to see you do it. And if you do, then we're done. But that doesn't have anything to do with the rest of the community. They didn't do that to me. And I have to see it for myself. I don't take anybody's word for nothing.
right.
Nuh-uh. Because that's how they get you. That, like you said, they'll have some agent provocateur who will come on and be like, well, did you know that your mom was talking crap about you and she doesn't actually love you? That kind of stuff. Say that to me. And you're the guy. I'm going to be like, I don't trust you.
Right.
Because I trust my mom. I trust my family. And so that's the biggest thing that people, they take it away first. They take away your trust. That's the first thing they take away from you. And they do that on purpose because if we were to get together, they would be in trouble because they can't get us all. Were they going to burn us
Yeah,
all on
but
purpose?
well, I'm just saying, like, you don't want to do violence. I never promote violence. I think
There's
I
never
think
any
it'd be
violence.
more like getting together, figuring out a way to keep the stuff out of our body first of all. Uh, um, Figure out ways to because as long as you have the stuff in your body, it don't matter. You can be targeted. You know, um, and but if you start violence and advocate for violence, then you're screwed. That's the wrong path right there, because many have tried
Violence,
it. So I don't
violence.
even know what if you now unity to help each other. If somebody's struggling, be there. Be there for each other that way. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, getting together. Look, getting together and having a protest or a march or anything, just making a website, stuff like that. That's not violent. You know me, I that was one of the first things I said on your show was I like violence is the last recourse of a fool. Only an idiot would get violent because that's exactly what they want. Who are you
Right.
gonna who are you gonna get violent against? Where are they at? If you knew where they were at, maybe you could defend yourself. But you don't know where they're at. They don't tell you that. They do that
And
on
I've
purpose.
heard, I heard, and this is from somebody that knows, and this dude, and I'm not going to reveal it. I'm not going to reveal nothing yet, but these people, I've heard that a lot of these politicians and stuff. I'm not saying all of them, but I've heard from a pretty good source that there's a shadow people behind them. They're not even the people in office don't even know what's going on.
Uh-huh.
It's
I
it's a
agree with that.
totally separate thing, and they're not in offices, and they're not in their shadow.
Yeah, that's the deep government.
Yeah,
That's the shadow government is another term they call it.
right. And
But
that's why when you call your politicians, they're not even aware what's going on.
basically, because if politicians were aware, they realize that technology could be used against them too. And if they knew that, then they would go against it.
Right.
You're telling me that there's a technology out there that supposedly can control people's minds? They're going
In
to go against that.
bodies.
Yeah, and bodies. They're going to go against that. because they're going to be afraid of it. And that's one of the reasons. But the shadow government isn't afraid of it because they're the ones in control of it. You're talking about what I call the corporate aristocracy. You're talking about big people like Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, the people with the real money behind the Koch brothers, all these people who have serious money, but they keep themselves out of the limelight. Especially like the Koch brothers were big when they were still alive. They were big about that. Did you know they would donate to both sides? They would donate to the Democrats and the Republicans because if either side got elected, then they would owe them. It wouldn't matter if they're Republican or Democrat. They would still owe them because he donated what $1 billion to their cause. So
Right.
they were smart like that. That's the shadow government, the corporate aristocracy that
Right.
that has ran us for a long time. Um, it's impossible. You'll never get to them. You'll never even be able to like send them a message. They're completely off the grid, and they do that on purpose. Like that guy Fink, he runs Blackwater or BlackRock. BlackRock is the biggest big corporation on earth. They have a GDP that is as large as the United States. So you're talking about a corporation that is so powerful that they are as powerful as the United States of America. They have their own army. It's a security force.
Right.
So Fink is billions and billions of dollars rich, but you don't know how much money he has because he doesn't report it. The ones who have real money, they don't report it. So like people like Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk think they're rich. You go to talk about the Saudis, the Saudi princes, those guys have so much money that it's like in the trillions of dollars because of all the oil they have. They don't report it. They don't tell anybody how much money they have. They're not stupid. Why would they tell you how much money they have? Then they
Right.
become a target. So
Right.
if you just think there's some inbred, you know, Arabian people out in the desert, then that's good for them. They think good. They just think I'm stupid. That's perfect. I've got trillions of dollars. I'll buy what I want to buy. They're talking about buying. You probably don't know. I used to be a professional wrestler, so I get into professional wrestling. And the Saudi Arabians are talking about buying WWE right now because they really like wrestling there. And so, but to buy a corporation as big as WWE and not be worried about it, it's like buying Twitter. You're paying like 44, $80 billion. And they have that much money, they just throw it away. They don't care.
Well, I'm fixing to have to wrap it up, man. And I definitely want to catch up in the next few months. I feel like this is one of the best conversations about the stuff we've had. And uh, uh, man, let it. And sometimes I'm slow to answer because I have a lot of responsibilities. And I thank you for understanding. Because some
Uh,
people get mad, and I really
I'm,
appreciate you understanding. There's a lot more that understand too. But yeah, keep in touch, man, because I hope my V2K will stop one day. Just give me a break, even though I pretty much deal with it pretty good, because I've been dealing with it since 2015. I
yeah,
got ways I deal with it, and but it would be nice just to have some silence, you know. So,
I
and I
totally
hope yours
agree.
don't come back. And I
Me
hope
too,
you
man.
continue to deal with your targeting the way you have been.
Me too, man. Thank you very much for that. I uh,
Mhm.
I sincerely hope that everybody's V2K goes away. If all you got to deal with is a little tinnitus and fucking body movements, then God be with me. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a lot better than having to deal with people talking to you all the time.
Right.
Uh,
Well,
way to
well,
look
you
out for.
still get the stalking and stuff too. You just don't pay attention, right?
I don't pay attention. I don't even know if it's there. And
Right.
I haven't seen bright lights. I haven't been flashed in a long time. So I can't remember the last time that was. I used to be constantly looking in my rearview mirror and constantly looking when I was, driving around, looking for those lights because I'm like, oh, that's one. But the funny thing is, they might not even know they're doing it. They might just be a normal person that the V2K has hit them subliminally and said, hey, turn your lights on. And they're like, oh, turn my lights on. And they don't even know. They're probably not even actual perps because it makes no sense to me that there's thousands of perps flashing me. How is there 1,000 people just for me? If there's
Right.
1,000 just for me, then there must be millions of them because that means there's 1,000 for all of us.
And
That
they could,
doesn't.
and you know, they could mind control them to do it too, probably.
That's what I'm saying, and it's not actual mind control. It's just a subliminal thought. It's like
Yeah.
just turn your brights on.
Yeah.
Okay, turn your brights
And
on.
they've been doing that since theater came out. They'd flash that eat popcorn real quick, and people go
Yeah.
get popcorn.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Or they pump the theaters full of the smell of popcorn.
Uh-huh.
It's that on purpose. They pump in that smell, and so you're like, "Oh, I'm hungry," and you go and get some popcorn for $20 a damn bag.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right,
Man,
man.
well, all right, man. Well, I'm fixing to stop recording, then we can say our goodbye.